There are a lot of positive things to be said about the fashion industry, but it's always struggled with inclusiveness. While we've seen many major strides on that front in recent years, some companies have been digging in their high heels and refusing to budge. Victoria's Secret has maintained an unapologetically narrow range of models for years, and that doesn't seem to be changing anytime soon. We'll talk about some of the shocking truths about this famous company and why they're anything but angels behind the scenes. Victoria's Secret is hardly a notable name in the world of high fashion, but there's no denying its influence on pop culture. Their fashion shows are regularly broadcast all around the world, and pretty much everyone has heard about them. They're undoubtedly a part of our culture, but a part that fails to represent many parts of the population. While many designers try to include a wide range of diverse models, this is one movement Victoria's Secret refuses to join. Perhaps that's why fewer and fewer people are tuning in year after year to view this iconic Victoria's Secret fashion show. In 2017, the ratings fell 29% from the previous year, with only 4.98 million people watching. To put that into perspective, more people sat in front of the TV to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that year. Well, in Victoria's Secret defense, that's just a great movie. Many people have questioned why Victoria's Secret hasn't featured any plus-sized or trans models over the years. Many other fashion brands have done so, and some designers focus primarily on clothes designed for plus-size shoppers. Once Victoria's Secret models were standard, but now their lack of diversity is what makes them stand out. The body type, which was once considered bold and innovative, is now considered ordinary and even outdated when it's presented as the only option. Is it possible that Victoria's Secret has simply never thought of expanding their modeling range? Well, according to Chief Marketing Officer Ed Razek, this isn't the case. Not only is he aware of the lack of diversity, but he has vowed to maintain it as long as he's in charge. To Ed Razek, it's almost about brand recognition and brand loyalty. He claims plus-size options exist and points out Victoria's Secret and Lane Bryant are both owned by the company L Brands. He defines Victoria's Secret as a specialty retailer and doesn't believe they have a responsibility to promote models of different body types. So what's this issue with featuring trans women as models? Well, according to Ed, he doesn't believe that would be a wise business decision. To clear things up, Ed offered the following statement: "Because the show is a fantasy, it's a 42-minute entertainment special." He then goes on to extol the virtues and successes of Victoria's Secret. Finally, Ed claims people simply enjoy attacking his company because of their success and because they're a leader in the industry. But it seems that in many ways, Victoria's Secret is struggling to adjust to a changing world. Ed himself admits he's totally given up on using Instagram, and we know how social media has changed the world of advertising. Highlighting the fact that they're falling behind are other brands, including one offered by pop superstar Rihanna. She started out with her Fenty Beauty line, which featured tons of different shades for pretty much every skin tone. And she carried out that inclusive attitude over with her when it came to starting her Fenty by Savage line of lingerie. Not only did she have a wide variety of different body types, but she featured a pregnant model, Slick Woods. Ed Razek of Victoria's Secret claimed they've had pregnant models before and says that they were overlooked. He also added that if they were to do the same, they may have been accused of pandering to their audience. While Rihanna appears to be concentrating on her own business, she's also taken the time to like some Instagram posts by those speaking out against Ed Razek. It seems like she's happy to sit back and let her style and a wide range of models speak for themselves. Even Kendall Jenner, who famously models for Victoria's Secret, subtly shaded them on Instagram. Following the interview with Ed, she posted an image which read, "Celebrate trans women." It's not hard to see why Kendall would be unhappy about these remarks. Victoria's Secret may give her a paycheck, but her parent Caitlyn Jenner went through a very public and painful transition. Many other former fans of Victoria's Secret have signed petitions vowing to stop watching their annual fashion show until things change. Plus-sized model Robin Lawley led the campaign, which gathered thousands of parties interested in making a point with their viewership. Taking on a brand, let alone a huge one like Victoria's Secret, is challenging, but Robin believes it's the only way to affect real change. Even Ed Razek was eventually forced to walk back his remarks and apologized after they garnered a considerable backlash. He apologized for his statements on including transgender models and admitted he came across as insensitive. Then he went on to admit he has had trans women show up for casting calls, but they simply didn't make it into the show. Despite this, he insists it was never about gender. This limited sizing is not only apparent on the catwalk, but in their products as well. Victoria's Secret is relaunching their long-defunct swimsuit line, but many fans won't be able to fit into their products. The suits don't go past just an extra large or a 38 double D cup. Many people have been quick to complain about the lack of sizes, as well as accusing the suits of being overpriced and under-inspired. But Victoria's Secret does claim to be progressive in some ways, and they have featured many women of color in their fashion show. Winnie Harlow made history by becoming the first model with vitiligo to walk in the Victoria's Secret fashion show. Ed Razek also pointed out during his interview that Victoria's Secret embraces the natural hair texture of many of their models. However, there are more than a few instances of the company being insensitive, to say the least, when it comes to issues of race. Model Karlie Kloss made headlines when she appeared in the 2012 fashion show, but for all the wrong reasons. When she took off down the runway, she did so wearing a Native American-style headdress, leopard print underwear, and a turquoise necklace. This seemed entirely inappropriate to many people, and the Navajo Nation spoke out against her ill-advised outfit. After a serious amount of backlash, Victoria's Secret was forced to omit the outfit from their broadcast. Karlie spoke up about the incident on Twitter and gave what many would consider a total non-apology. She tweeted that she was deeply sorry if what she wore during the VS show offended anyone. Notice that Karlie didn't actually express regret for wearing the outfit. Instead, she apologized to people who were upset about it, which came off as insincere. Gigi Hadid is another Victoria's Secret model who has come under fire because of incidents deemed racially insensitive. In 2015, she appeared in an issue of Vogue Italia wearing way too much bronzer and an afro wig. In 2018, she appeared in the same magazine, again nearly unrecognizable because of the amount of bronzer on her face. Many claim the shoots were culturally insensitive, and Gigi blamed the photo editors for the incident. Gigi didn't show up to the 2017 fashion show in Shanghai, China, and we're pretty sure we know why. Previously, Gigi had posted a video of herself making gestures which mocked those with Asian features. When Gigi announced she would be appearing in the fashion show, many were furious she was seemingly not going to face any consequences for her behavior. She did make a post both in English and Mandarin where she sincerely apologized for her behavior. However, many pointed out she only made it on the Weibo app and not on her much more visible social media accounts. Devin Windsor is a Victoria's Secret model who wants you to know that being a gorgeous blonde model isn't as easy as it looks. On an episode of Model Squad, she listened to Shanina Sheikh bring up some important points about the lack of diversity in modeling. Shanina confessed she had faced severe bullying because of her skin color and was denied a spot in Milan's Fashion Week. Devin tried to relate to what Shanina had been through, but her comparison ended up falling flat. She spoke of how difficult it was visiting other countries and not being able to speak the language. Devin even lamented on not being able to speak Italian or Paris. Yes, she actually said Paris. Then she asked if anyone realized how hard it is to be blonde and complained about the expensive upkeep of her highlights. Yikes. Later, Devin claimed she was being facetious during her rant and said the clip was edited to make her look bad. She said she was trying to add some levity to a serious situation and realized it came across as dismissive. And then, of course, we have world-famous model Kendall Jenner. We watched her grow up on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but even as an adult, she puts her foot in her mouth pretty often. During an interview with Love magazine, she shared her thoughts on the modeling industry and managed to offend tons of working models everywhere. Seemingly oblivious of her own privilege, Kendall claims she could simply never keep up with the tiresome pace of 30 shows per season. Instead, she says she is much more selective about the work she chooses to take on and often scales back for her mental health. Needless to say, many of her fellow models weren't happy about this interview. They pointed out that they easily appear in 80 shows per season and that simply taking time off isn't an option for those who have bills to pay. Many models were livid at Kendall for making light of the notoriously difficult modeling industry. Of course, Kendall eventually walked back her statements and said she admires the hard work and dedication of her fellow models. And let's not forget Kendall Jenner's infamous Pepsi commercial. Although we know Kendall tries to forget about it, many felt it was so over the top it should have derailed her career. Many believe this ad for Pepsi belittled the Black Lives Matter movement and made light of the sacrifices made by visionaries like Martin Luther King Jr. Of course, Kendall wasn't responsible for coming up with the concept or putting it together, but she willingly starred in it. She had no trouble cashing the paycheck and considering it one of her minimal jobs for the season. It's interesting to consider how much responsibility Victoria's Secret has for the models who show off their products. Should we hold the company responsible for knowingly hiring individuals who have made racist comments? Should Kendall Jenner be grounded from the catwalk until she can play nice with her fellow models? And on the flip side, what is the morality involved in someone like Kendall who has a trans family member but is also working for Victoria's Secret? It's an interesting topic to say the least, but it appears as though Victoria's Secret isn't going to be changing their methods anytime soon. What do you think about the types of models hired by Victoria's Secret? Are you hoping for a more inclusive fashion show lineup, or do you like things the way they are? Let us know what you think in the comments section, and then click on the subscribe button for more videos from us here at The Taco. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.